This conference will now be recorded.
Hi all. So welcome to day 10 of this JMeter session, right? And as a recap, so in day 9 we talked about the properties file. We have done some changes in the properties, right? Uh, then we have looked into the plugin installation and uninstallation and about plugin manager, right? Then we started the scenarios, right? Scenarios identification and documentation, right? We talked about that, and we are going to do the end-to-end scripting, correct? So we have talked about scenarios identification and documentation of performance testing of a web application, right? And what is the importance of that, right? That all in depth we talked about. Now we will be doing so here we are going to use this application, right? You can Google this, you'll get this application, correct? And what we identified on this application, there are two scenarios. First we will start with product booking, right? So correct. So this scenario identification and understanding the scenario is very important, right? That I have highlighted or that I have told yesterday. Correct. It's very, very important. And for this product booking, I have given a walkthrough how this product booking scenario is and what are the transaction involved in that, right? So after doing that, what we will be doing, we will be doing the end-to-end recording and script enhancement. Right. So that will be the today's topic: end-to-end recording and script enhancement with best practices for product booking, talking about dynamic values, why they are important, and different dynamic values example. Okay. So so end-to-end recording and script enhancement. So scripting for first scenario. Okay, that is product booking. So steps to follow for scripting with best practices. Correct. So here I have written some notes. Uh, just we have to take this in mind that we must not have any hard coded values in the script, right? Approach known as data driven testing. It helps it helps in making our script modular and dynamic and reusable in nature. Plus, any values must be replaced by must be replaced using Control F. So this is just an information uh, uh, you should take this as a point in like in mind, right? Okay, so point start from here. So first, what we have to do, we have to do some changes in JMeter. First change that get undo redo enabled. So that we have done yesterday, right? Then increase view result tree line limitation. This also we have done yesterday, correct? Then increase the heap size to 2 to 3 GB minimum, correct? It's minimum. Uh, Heap size to 2 to 3 GB. For now, type for now. Or, okay, fine. Initially, right, you should increase the heap size to 2 to 3 GB. Now, what is this heap size? Okay, so do not worry about what is this heap size. For now, just increase the heap size to 2 to 3 GB. Okay. So how to increase that? I'll show you. So we have to go in the bin folder. Correct. We have to go in the bin folder here. So this is the JMeter, right, folder. Inside that bin folder, correct. And uh, the JMeter.bat file, right, using which we launched the JMeter. You have to open that in Notepad++. So open that in Notepad++. Or yeah, before opening, let me show you one thing, that whenever we open JMeter, right, we see this message, this information message, right? If you see here, they have written that do not use GUI mode for load testing, only for test creation and test debugging. For load testing, we use CLI mode, right? And increase Java heap to meet your requirements, correct? So how to increase the Java heap? You have to modify this line, correct? This line in JMeter batch file. So this is the line that is used to modify heap, right? In JMeter batch file. This is what they have written. So you have to search for this line. Where we can search? So this JMeter.bat file, correct? Right click on that and open that with Notepad or Notepad++. So I open that here. Now you just scroll down for searching that line. So that line starts with what? If you see heap equal to xms1g xmx1g, right? Default is 1g. So if you see that line here, you can see this line is present over here as well, but this is not that line. Okay, remember, it's just for an example purpose they have given. For example they have given, so this is not that line. Just scroll down, correct? Just scroll down, and you will get here. If you see, if not defined heap equal to xms1g xmx1g. Okay, this g means gb. G means GB. Here you see M means MB. So in we have memory, right? RAM, 1 GB, 2 GB, or 1 MB, 2 MB, MB, right? So it's short form. So what this heap is, we'll talk it later on. Correct. For now, you just increase. How to increase? Here you can give 2. Here you can give 3. It will be sufficient for now. So instead of 1, by default it's 1 GB, 1 GB. Correct. So just change this 1 to 2 GB here, and here you change to 3 GB. Initially, first time, whenever first time, let us say you are using the JMeter, you should do this, you should increase it. Later on you can increase it more also, right? We will talk that later on, but initially, let us say first time you are using JMeter, right? First time you are doing a script creation, so it's better to increase the heap to 2 GB, 3 GB, like this. Correct. Just in place of 1, here give 2, here you can give 3. Moreover, we'll understand this later on, okay, after few days, right? Okay, so do not worry. Okay, so that we have to do in jmeter.bat file. Correct. After doing save the file. Correct. Save the file. You can close the file if you wish, and then you have to do what? You have to restart the you have to close and start the jmeter. Okay, do not restart. Yeah, do not restart. Restart is different thing, and closing and starting is different thing. Okay, restart means if you go here and you can do restart, this is different thing. Here we have to do close, completely closing it and then starting it fresh, then only it will take the changes. Okay, in this case, so I'm closing the jmeter, everything is gone, and then again as a fresh I will just restart it. I'll just start it, not restart, fresh start. Okay, so yeah, so yes, if you right, so let me first zoom this. Now you will be having question that if the heap is increased, how I'll know that heap is increased, right? Many people are confused. Even if you restart, you will see that here it is still showing 1 GB only. So they get panic, right? No need to panic. This is just an information. Okay, instruction, correct? It's not like that if you change there, it will affect here, reflect here. No, it's the instruction. It will remain as it is, right? So you'll ask me then how to know that whether JMeter has taken that heap or not. Generally, it will take, correct? But even though one way is that also we will be discussing later on how you can check that JMeter after changing the heap and then closing and starting, whether the new heap JMeter has taken or not. There one way is there. Okay, that I'll tell you in after few days. Okay, you have to wait for that. So be patient for that. For now, you just change and then close and start the JMeter, right? Close and start the JMeter. So right, so that is the first step you have to do as a means first time, right? It's an important thing. It doesn't mean that every time you use JMeter or every time you work on any project you have to do. No, first time whenever you are using JMeter, these things you should keep it on, right? You should keep it enabled like that. Okay, one time. This is one time activity. Okay. Now before I go further, just a second. Okay, fine. Right. So that is the first thing, one time activity that you have to do. After that, you do a trial recording for one or two transaction to understand the recording complication and certificate related thing, right? So any application that you get, right, any application that you are getting to work on, do a trial recording, right? Just 1 to 2 transaction you do. And why we will be doing that? To understand what are the recording complication, right, and certificate related things. So I have shown, we have discussed that, right, in recording section very widely, that maybe if the application has HTTP, then recording is very simple. If the application has HTTPS, then we need the certificate. Now in the certificate also many things are there. If certificate is old, right, you have to generate new certificate, correct? If the certificate has expired, you have to generate new certificate. Then let us say with the new certificate, normal certificate, you have put that in the browser and you are recording is not happening, correct? So in that case, you have to generate domain based certificate also, right? Those are the cases, that challenge you can face, right? Many times certificate is not issue, right? Maybe the application or the recording that you are doing in proxy, right, behind a firewall, behind a proxy. So maybe you have to start the JMeter with third proxy mode, correct? So those complication, right, those recording complication and certificate related thing, you should understand, correct? Before recording, just simply do a recording for 1 to 2 transaction on that application, and understand what are the recording complication you are getting, right? What are certificate relating thing or proxy related thing, correct, for any application, right? To get an idea. So once this all thing you have rectified, right, uh, uh, if you face any challenge, you have rectified that, or you have come across and you have fixed that, right? Then you go for complete end-to-end recording, right? Complete end-to-end recording. So complete end-to-end recording, uh, right, the whole flow that we have kept in the Excel, right? We made a Excel product booking for 15 transaction are there. Yesterday we had a walkthrough of these transactions, correct? So we have to record this complete end-to-end flow, right? After that, so before doing complete end-to-end flow, so that is what record end-to-end scenario or flow with all the best practices for recording in JMeter, and by considering below steps, correct? So what is the first step in that? Directory or file name must not contain any special character or any space. Okay, directory or file name must not contain any special character or any space. So I'll come to that. First let me do one thing. I do not have certificate here. Okay, so first I'll generate the certificate. Just a second. Yesterday I deleted the certificate. I'll use normal certificate only, because this application that we are practicing, it is a HTTPS application, and certificate is required, right? But normal certificate is required, no need for domain based. Okay, so I'll generate a normal certificate. Stop. So it's got generated. Now let me import it first. So this all thing we have to fix before doing the complete end-to-end recording, right? That is what doing a small POC recording, right? Means a small recording to understand what are the challenges I'm facing. Okay, so this is done. Then I'll just close and start my browser. So after certificate importing, also we have to close and start the browser, and we have to restart the JMeter as well. Okay. So I'll restart the JMeter. So at this point, right, doing a trial recording and understanding recording, you should do for every application, right? You will be working on many projects, right? So this will be applicable for any application you get. Do a trial recording and understand what are the complication that you are getting, right? Once you fix that, you come across all those things, everything is done, then you should do the end-to-end recording, right? So once the JMeter starts, yeah. So now we will start the end-to-end recording for the flow. Flow you already know, right? We have discussed that yesterday only. So to do the end-to-end recording, first as a best practice, what we have to do? First, what I'll do, I'll create a project folder, okay, in some location, right? It's also good. You can also create a project folder. So let us say in this location here, I'm going to create a project folder. Project name is JPET store, correct? Then inside that, I'll create three more folders: test, scripts, script, test, script. Then one more folder, test data. One more folder, test results. Right, test results. Okay, three folders. So I created project folder in some location. Right, whatever you decide in your project, you can keep where you want to create the folder. It's your decision, right? Your requirement. So I have created in my D drive, and then three folders inside that. Okay. Now before I go, one more thing I'll just tell you. I missed. See, for Windows, to change the heap, right? We have to change in jmeter.bat, right? The heap which we just changed, correct? In Windows. So we have to change by opening the jmeter.bat file and changing over there, right? But let us say people who are using Mac or Linux, right? So where they can change. So they should be changing in this jmeter.sh. Okay, you can open this jmeter.sh and you can change that. For whom? For those who are working in Mac OS or Linux, correct? Okay, now moving, coming back here. So I created JPEG store product folder, then three folders I have created inside this. Now we here in JMeter, we will be doing what? We will be using the template. So I'll go to template and I'll bring this recording template. So this all as a best practice I'm showing, right, for any end-to-end recording you'll be doing, right? So till yesterday or day before yesterday, what we discussed, it was just an lump sum idea, rough idea, right? Because we are focusing more on recording, right? Like how recording should be done, what are the challenges, how to filter, another thing that we have learned. Now we are doing the recording with best practice, correct? For any application, you should do like that only. So these three these three element that you see initially, we do not need, so you can delete them. Now this HTTP test script recorder will be disabled. We have to enable that. Right now in this thread group, I just said recording controller will not use, right? Because it has a drawback, right? I have talked that in previous session as well. We will be using simple controller inside that. So this recording controller, select and delete. Using Caesar, you can delete, right? And right click on thread group, go to add and logic controller, and you see simple control, add simple control, right? Then in here in HTTP test script recorder, two things we have to change, right? What is two things? What template?
Grouping we need to change.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell. No, that fellow messaged me. What template I have to change?
No,
Sorry,
no, the template that you just imported in the JMeter, right? Whatever we are seeing right now.
this template.
Yeah. Yep.
Why I will email man? It's there in JMeter already.
Oh, I thought you saved it somewhere, right? You added all those simple controller and all that stuff, right?
No. Sorry. Sometime I'm rude because sometime because it's a stressful. Maybe you have joined late, I think. So please watch previous video. You'll get to know like from where this template are coming. Okay, right. So on this weekend, like last 4 or 5 videos, whoever has missed, please watch it again, revise it again, right? For this week, today will be the last session. I'll be I'll be holding today because few 2 or 3 people I see they have joined late again. Like in this week they have enrolled. So for them I'll be keeping on hold, right? So again from Monday we'll be resuming. So please complete those, right? The basic foundation is always important, remember. Okay, so foundation must be clear, right? When we build a home, so we focus on foundation, right? Then we build the home. So those videos are foundation, correct? So this template you will get it is there. Now coming to so I have to remove the recording controller and we'll be using simple controller here, right? Because the recording controller has drawback, right? Now that I have added, now in HTTP script recorder you have to change two things now. What two things? The target control, right? Because you see target is set as recording controller, but recording controller is not there, so it will throw error. Suppose if I click on a start, you'll see it will throw this error. Right? If you read this message carefully and understand what it's saying, it is saying that record target is going to be recording controller, but recording controller is not there in the script, right? So from this drop down, you can click here. In this drop down, you'll get this, right? Test plan thread group simple controller. So you can choose this. Now what will happen? All the recordings will go in simple controller, correct? So that is one change you have to do. And next change here, the right here, you remember I told that in this we have to choose prefix as a best practice, correct? Prefix. That's it. Now we save this. We have to save, right? So to save, remember this: any directory or in file name must not contain any special character or any space. Okay, and saving we should also give a good name. So let me go to file, then go to save. Where I'll be saving? I'll be saving in my this location JPEG store, and inside this folder I'll create test script. I'll be saving here. So I'll just copy this path and I'll put it over here and hit the enter button. So now I am in this test script location, right? Now I'll delete this. Now some good name I'll give, right? So let us say this script is going to be for product booking scenario, right? And scenario ID JPS01. So we'll give some name resembling to that. So it's GPS01 scenario ID, then scenario name of scenario name is product booking you can give, right? I'm giving Octopuff JPEG2 not required JPS01 uh, application name, like let us say the JPEG store application name JPEG store, and then scenario name booking product booking, correct? Like that, some good name, right? And then you can give some date like this is first recording, like that, or you can give some name like original recording, something what you can give. Let us say I'll give my date, today date, 23rd of September 2021. With this name I'll be saving this file, correct? This file, and it will be a JMX file, correct? So save. So you see here it came, right? It got saved in this location now. So that got saved. Now in this view result tree, which is inside this HTTP test
There is
script
some
recorder.
voice disturbance, Valla.
Your voice is breaking, Vallabh.
Okay. Just a second. Now it's good.
No, Allah, still same.
In background, something like a
Background.
robot sound is some. Yeah, no, that sound is like a. It's not
I'll
proper.
go.
It's like a might be headphones or something, I believe.
When it started, just now.
Oh, the minute before.
Okay. So I'll just read few lines, right? You just tell me that it's good or not now. So directory or file name must not contain any special character or any space. Didn't say. Okay, now
Yeah, now it's clear, Vallabh. Now it's clear.
Now it's clear, Vallabh.
oh, fine. Okay, so I'll repeat it again. So directory or file name must not contain any special character or any space, right? So I went over here, right, and we saved, right, and we have given a name for this file. So uh, file name what we have given was, if you could remember, the JPA JPET store product booking, right, some 23 September 2021, right? Now one thing that we have to remember while giving the file name, fine, you should not use any special character or any space, right? Any special character or any space. So suppose here you see jps underscore jpet store underscore, right, underscore, correct. I have given as a separator, I have used underscore, but a space I am not using, correct, fine. Okay, so you should not use any space or any other special see what you can use, you can use dash, you can use, and underscore you can use, but other special character like and, at the rate, like this, or plus a space, those you cannot use in naming the file name, right? When you are especially dealing with JMeter, this I have already told in very beginning also, right? And plus in the folder name, right, let us say this location, you see where I have kept, uh, I have used a space in them, right? Underscore, sorry, I have used underscore in them, right? I have not used a space, correct. Right, so a space will create issue if you use a space in naming of the directory, a space or character, if you are using it in naming of the correct directory or the file name, it will create issue, right? So it's not be there, it must be not there. Okay, so with that I saved this file name, right? Okay, now next is uh, inside this http test script recorder we have view result tree, right? And in this view result tree here, recording.xml will be there. So we have to remove that, right? We will be giving our on. So earlier also I've told that this is a default one. We will not be using this. Here we'll be giving a XML file of our on side, from our on side. Why? To save this original recording, correct? So how to do that? Click on browse and choose some location. So let us say I'm choosing this location only. Give some file name. Let us say like JPS0101 recording log, right? Recording log, correct. Name I'm giving recording log, and extension will be .xml, right? .xml. 2 or 3 days back only we have seen discussed this, right? .xml, correct. .xml, and then click on open. So this error will come, no need to worry, just click on open, and then again you save it, right? Again you save it. Saving is important in JMeter. Every 1 minute or every action you do, keep saving, right? Keep saving, right? Keep saving. So I've saved. Now it's done. Now what we will be doing will be uh, doing setting up the port and proxy in the browser. So I'll go to the browser. Proxy. Then here enabling this, right? The same port should be same, whatever in the JMeter you are using. Here also it should be same. And then click on save. So it's done. Now I'll start a new incognito window. So yeah, done. Correct. Now we will do the recording. So again, before you do the recording, remember that first thing what we do, we press the start button, and then a pop-up come where we have to give the transaction name, right? So transaction name must be meaningful. It means the name should reflect or reference the user action done. Correct. Transaction name must be meaningful. It means the name should, whatever the transaction name you are giving, it should reflect or reference the user action that you are doing. Okay. So let us say you are doing a home page launch. So transaction name also you can give like that. Okay, home page launch, right? So do not panic while doing the recording. Be patient, right? Always take time, right? No need to do everything in hurry worry. Be patient. Think wisely what transaction name you should be giving. Okay, and yeah, right. And a spelling mistake in transaction name, that generally you should avoid, right? Give correctly everything while doing the recording, right? So when you are doing the recording, do the recording very patiently. Correct. Taking the time. It's not like that I in 10 minutes only, or within 1 minute only you have to do the recording. No, take your time. Okay. So now we will start. We will click on start here. This pop-up will come. Okay. Then this pop-up will come. So here we will be giving the transaction name. So first transaction is home page launch. So here I'll give T01. No, first I'll give scenario ID GPS01, then T01, T01, then transaction name home page underscore launch. Right. In transaction name also, remember one thing. In transaction name also, right? In transaction name, some rules are there, right? Transaction name must be meaningful. It means the name should not reflect or reference the user action. The name should reflect or reference the user action done. Let us say first transaction I'm going to do is home page launch. So name I'm giving like that, right? Transaction name should not be much long. Very much long you should not give, right? And one more thing, transaction name must not contain any special character. Okay, must again here. Wherever must is used, that is very important to take care. Okay, in bold I have written. So in the transaction name also, you should not use any special character like quotes, dollar, or this kind of thing. You should not use. And is allowed. Okay, and is allowed. A special character and is allowed, but other not allowed. Correct. Any special character is not allowed. A space you can use here. A space in this you can use, but not required, right? I use in place of a space, I use underscore as well, right? But in naming of file or directory, a space also is not allowed, remember, right? But in transaction name, a space is allowed, but I'll suggest why to practice a space, right? In place of a space you can use underscore, and apart from that any special character is not allowed, only and is allowed. Okay, so that thing you should take care. Okay, done. Now here you put the URL and just hit the enter button. So this is the URL. I'll click on paste and go. While recording, the browsing will be slow, okay? Because the traffic is routed, right? Traffic first go to JMeter, and from JMeter it goes to the application, right? So browsing will be slow. So no need to worry, right? Like why on recording this is slow. It happens. So this is homepage launch. Homepage launch done. Now, once the first homepage launch is done, just verify in JMeter once that whether recording is happening or not. So we'll come to JMeter. Yeah, I see traffic's coming over here, right? And then in simple controller, yeah, you can expand and you can see whether the transaction are coming or not, right? You can see here. Uh, uh, we see here it's coming, right? Means recording is happening. So always check once, right? First time whenever you do one transaction, check once in JMeter. Sometime what will happen, you may forget to check and you have completed all the transaction, right? And then you are going and seeing in JMeter, you see nothing is recorded. So at least one time, first time you see whether recording is happening or not. So I see here recording is happening, right? The traffic circle. Now no need to come here. Now we will complete our flow. Okay, so we will be doing next transaction. So the flow, right? If you remember, URL, then homepage launch, then and we have to click on enter store, then sign in, then log in, then selecting the paid, then subpaid type, adding it to cart, then check out, then enter the details and continue, then submit, then going to my account, my orders, going to my order, then clicking on booked order and sign out, right? 15. So homepage launch is done. Next is clicking on enter store. So before that, you have to change the transaction name over here, right? So it's T02 enter store, or click enter store. You can give. I'm giving name as enter store. Okay, and then I'll click over here, right? That is next transaction. Okay. Now the next page came. Now what you have to do is make sure that when next page or whatever the page is loading, it should be completely loaded, right? On the top right corner, a circle moves like this, right? Like this. So it's a page should be completely loaded. Till then you have to wait. And also once the page is completely loaded, minimum 5 seconds you have to wait before you do any other thing. Right. So next flow is clicking on sign in. Next transaction is clicking on sign. But before doing that, we have to wait for minimum 5 seconds. Okay. This thing I pointed yesterday, right? That wait we have to do. So minimum 5 seconds you have to wait. Now, wait. Now you change the transaction name here. T03. Click sign in. Spelling another thing give correctly, right? Do not panic. Record with patience. And in first go only, spelling another thing give correctly. Okay. Right, it create a good impression, right? When you represent the reporting to the client, to seniors, right? It create a good impression. Okay, so click sign in. Now name given. Now we will be clicking on sign in. Okay, now this page came, right? It's fully loaded. Now minimum wait for 5 seconds. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 5 done. 5 seconds, right? Minimum wait for 5 seconds. Then change the transaction name over here. So next transaction is T04 login, right? Login. And then come here, put the credentials. The default credential, right? J2EE. Username, password is also J2EE. And then click on login. Login done, right? Now again wait for 5 seconds. So this 5 seconds is compulsory. Remember, before doing any action, right? Before doing any transaction, you have to wait for minimum 5 seconds. It's the compulsory wait. Now change the transaction name. So next transaction is after login, we have to select a paid, then a subpaid and subpaid type, right? So yeah. So transaction number 5, T05, and T05 underscore select a paid. So transaction name, if you see what I'm giving the transaction name same as the user action what I'm doing, right? So transaction name should be meaningful, correct? They should be meaningful. It means that the name should reflect or reference the user action that we are doing, right? Okay. So yeah. So that is what T05 select a pet. T stands for transaction, right? The T that I'm giving it stands for transaction, short form for transaction. Now you choose any pet. Let us say I'll click on fish. Then the next transaction. Then again wait for 5 seconds minimum. And then next transaction we have to choose. We have so many options here. From this we have to choose a pet. Okay, a sub pet actually. So T06 select a product ID. Okay, product ID. See, actually we are clicking on product ID, right? Next is we have 4 product ID. Actually, these are subpets only in normal language. If you understand, this is fees, and there are 4 types of fees. Anyone you have to select. But going by the flow of application, we are clicking on product ID, right? So you can give a name as select a product ID, right? But that you can give here. What I'm doing, instead of doing that, I am changing it to subpet, selecting a subpet. Okay. uh, Simply you can give that name, or you can go with this only. Fine. Better to give product ID. Why I'm not giving product ID? There is reason for that. Okay. My personal reason is that I have some script which is already made. So for example, that I'll be showing in future. So there the name is subpet. So if I give product ID, you will get confused, right? So I'm giving subpet. But basically we are clicking on product ID. So you can click on say give a name like select a subpet, right? Sorry, select a product ID. Name you can give select a product ID. I am giving subpet because it's a subpet of fish only, right? Okay. Now we click on anyone. Let us say I'll be clicking on goldfish. Then again in that also we have 2 types, right? 2 types. That is subpet type. Fine. So select a pet, select a subpet or product ID, subpet type or item ID. Okay. To avoid the confusion, product ID or subpet, item ID or subpet type. So on next page again, in that subpet also 2 types are there, male, female. You have to choose which one you need, right? Actually, basically this website is pet booking website, correct? You are booking pets. So here also 2 types. Now, so next transaction is T07. Select a item ID. Item ID. This is the transaction name you can give over here, because from this anyone which we need will be clicking on this, right? Item ID will be clicking anyone. So basically in real sense you should give item ID. Okay, but I am giving subpet type. Okay, select a subpet type. Subpet type, right? It's same thing. Okay, same thing. Only in my previous all batches I've used like this. Okay, and I have some script with same name. So to avoid a confusion, I use like this. Okay, so do not worry. You can name as item ID, or if you want to, since you are beginner, you go with subpet type. Later you can understand. Okay, you will understand. So now we any of these 2 we have to select, right? So let us say I'm clicking on this EST20. So we are getting some info here. Now next transaction is adding that to a cart, then doing proceed to checkout, then enter details and continue and then confirm, correct? So T08 add to cart, add to cart. Okay, so after 5 seconds on every page, minimum 5 seconds you have to wait, right? Remember. So after that you change the transaction name here and then do that action. So I'm clicking then here add to cart, then again wait for 5 seconds, right? Wait for 5 seconds. Then T09, okay, that is proceed to checkout, right? We have to click on proceed to checkout. So transaction name is proceed to checkout, right? Okay, then you click on this, then we'll be filling these details here. Okay, so next again wait for minimum 5 seconds first, then you change the name here. So next so 5 seconds is done, right? 1 2 3 4 5, yeah, done. Now 10 T010. Okay, next transaction name is, let us say, enter details and the special character that and I'm giving here, that is allowed. Okay, continue and then continue, right? We will be entering the details and clicking on continue, right? Now here some pre-filled data will be there that you can delete, right? You can remove, you can just select all and remove them by just selecting and deleting. Okay, okay, so as a phrase you can fill your own data. So let us say from card type anyone you have to choose. I'll choose MasterCard. Then a dummy card number we have to give. Okay. Then a expiry date. So any expiry date you can give 12/2030. Now billing address, right? So let us say first name Jojo, last name Bean, address street 1, 2, city. You give some full form, right? I am giving Hyderabad short form. State you can give whatever, Telangana, Karnataka. I am giving short form. Okay. Jeep, zip code. Okay. Country, let us say India. Fine. Now done, right? So after that we have to click on continue. Then this is the order review page, right? In our normal Flipkart or Amazon also this kind of flow is there, right? Order review page will be there. Then you confirm that order, right? And when you make this documentation, you can write remarks also, right? That let us say on a payment page, what I have to do, I have to use any, I have to choose the any of the card type. I have to use a dummy data, right? Expiry date should be in this format. Here credential like this. This you can all prepare, right? Prepare it. That is what the scenarios documentation, correct? Then next is clicking on confirm, right? So that is what remark I have written. So next is uh, after wait for 5 seconds, right? 5 seconds. Then change the transaction name here. So next transaction is T11, right? T11, and then confirm or submit. I'll give name as submit. Okay, submit or confirm is same thing. So we will be clicking on this confirm. After review, you can review this and then click on confirm, submit. Okay. Now, so up to this done, right? Now additionally 3 more transactions are there. We have to go to my accounts, then we have to go to my orders. There we have to see whether the order that we booked is there or not, and then we have to click on that, right? So that is what I have written. Verify order created present or not, then click the things, right? Verify the product, all those things. So for now, if you see on this page, this is the order ID. Remember, okay, 5349. Fine, 5349. I'll write it somewhere. 534. Okay, order ID is 534. Order booked is you'll get details over here, right? And these are the card details and address that we just used, right? Okay. Now, so next transaction is going to my accounts. So T012, T12, not 0, T12, T12, and go to my account. Or my account, yeah, go to my account. Go to my account, or you can give my account page load. That also some good name, whatever you think you can give. So I'm going to my account. Then again wait for 5 seconds, right? And after that we have to click my orders over here, right? So 5 seconds done. Now change the transaction number T13 and go to my orders. My orders. Then let us click here. Okay. Now here we have to verify that order is present or not. This will be very long page. So you have to check this order ID and you have to click on that, right? So first wait for 5 seconds. So 5 seconds, yeah, almost done. Now change the transaction name T14. What we have to do, we have to click on that booked order, right? So click booked order, booked order ID. Click booked order ID. Okay, yeah, fine. So this is the order ID 5349. Generally, you will see that order in the last. So just scroll down, correct? Because 5349. Control F 5349. Yeah, it's here. It's in middle. Okay, fine. Um, um, so one thing I'll tell. Generally, the order will be in last, as I said, you right. So if you scroll down, you'll get the order ID in the last. But what I see here, that order is not here, right? You see, our order was ID was 5349, but here some different order is there. Because why it's happening? Maybe at this time, many people will be using this and they are booking the order, right? Because it's a sample website, many people practice it in public domain. Okay. So in the what you can do to find that order on this page, you can press Control F, right? So you see, I am pressing Control F. So here this pop-up come. I'm typing this 5349 where it is, right? So it's highlighting over here. It's somewhere in middle. That is also one trick to go to the order ID, right? Very fast. So we have to click on that, right? Before I go and click on this here, transaction name I'll change little bit. It's click. It will be click booked order ID. Okay, click booked order ID. Now I'll be clicking on this. That is what this transaction 14 is. Now here you see again those details what you booked will be there. That's it. Now we have to do sign out. So wait for 5 minutes, 5 seconds. Wait for 5 seconds, and then change the transaction name, transaction number, and the name. So T15 sign out. Okay, and then click on sign. Done. Then wait for 5 seconds minimum, and then stop. Okay, you can close this browser. You can close this calculator. You can disable the proxy as well. Now come to JMeter and immediately save. Okay, save, immediately save that. Okay, so you see all transactions are here. 15 transaction got recorded. Few places you see multiple transaction is showing. That happens because of irrelevant thing getting captured, right? So we have to filter, right? That we have discussed. So that is next point. I'll be coming to that. Okay, do not worry. So save this. Now from this view result tree, which is inside HTTP test script recorder, remove this file name, right? Correct. Just select and press delete. It will be removed, and then again just save. So that is what the recording. Okay, with best practices. Fine. Now, enhancement phase start. Enhancement is the biggest phase. Recording is nothing. Okay, enhancement is the main. So we have to enhance the recorded script. Correct. So first you take a backup. So let me go and take a backup. So I'll go to file. I'll go to save test plan as, and I will give here JPA JPEG store product booking. I'll give name as working on. Working on means I'll be working on, right? So I'm creating a copy of this file. That's it. So save, right? So that is what a new copy we have created, right? Product booking working on. You can see here. So we will be doing the announcement in this file. This file will be kept as a backup, right? Maybe in future I have to use for reference. So that will be backup, right? And I have saved this working on with new name, new file name, and we will be enhancing in this, right? And that recording log, if you see, right, that XML file got created here. This contains what? This contains the log, right? Original recording log, correct? This log. If you messed with this, you can always open that file and bring that, right? Yeah. Now backup done. Then remove any irrelevant URL and embedded resources capture. Also, if needed, put checkmark in generate parent sample option for each transaction controller, right? So first remove any irrelevant URL and embedded resources captured. So yeah, we have so many embedded resources I do not see, but so many irrelevant URLs are there. So Ajay, so you see, it's good that it came, right? So you see, all these are irrelevant. You see, it came, right? So you have to remove them. Okay. So very minutely, this is our application related only. So we'll keep this one. Then next home page launch. Again, you see, this is something from Office apps, irrelevant, right? So keep removing, keep saving. Then enter a store. This is related to application. Then sign in, related to application. Then login, okay, related to application only. Then select a page related to application. Then subpage. This is our application. After subpage, I see 3 subpages, right? Means if you see multiple copies, right? It's generally like multiple copy of some same transaction you see. So it's like generally it will be, they will be containing irrelevant only, right? So you see subpet type next transaction. In this you see all this irrelevant, irrelevant, irrelevant. This complete set is irrelevant. I'll delete. Then one more subpet type. So here also all this irrelevant. So this can happen. Okay, this can happen. Now this is the main select subpet type transaction and its request. Okay. Then add to cart. Okay, fine. Then proceed to checkout. Okay, fine. Then we have enter details. The enter details completely irrelevant. Means so I'll delete that. Then yeah, this is also irrelevant. Then enter details. These two all are irrelevant. Then this is the one, right? The main one. You see here, we see we have given the form data. We sent some user input, right? That got captured here. Okay, that is known as body data or form data or user inputs. Then we did submit. Submit. Okay. This is a one more submit here. So I think it's irrelevant. Okay. Yeah. Delete that. Then this authorization manager. It's a element got added by us. It's also irrelevant only. You see, it's containing something Microsoft and some. It's not related to our application. Delete that. Then one more submit. Again, yeah, irrelevant. So from where this irrelevant comes, right? When I was doing the recording, at that time in my backend, many other applications were trying to communicate with the uh, over the network, right? Over the internet to their servers. But we have set up the proxy there, so their request or their traffic also comes in JMeter, right? When you do the recording. So this is a normal thing you will always face. Okay. This is then go to account. Okay. Then go to my orders. Then click booked order. This is again irrelevant. So see Skype, right? I have a Skype. He was trying to communicate. So Skype request got captured, right? Like that. In your laptop, in your system, so many software will be there, right? They will be communicating, and then the request, you will see those requests from there. Then this is click booked order ID. Okay. And then this is sign out. Two requests, sign out as two requests. Fine. Save. So this is known as cleaning. Okay. If you clean the script, you will see script will look very cleaner, very smooth, right? Very beautiful. Fine. Okay, so cleaning done. Then if required, you can put a check mark in this generate parent sample for each transaction controller. Here you can put check mark. Why to put check mark? There are two reasons for that. Okay, two reason is there to put check mark or not to put. First reason I'll tell you now. Second reason we'll discuss later on. What is the first reason? I told you earlier, right? If you play this, so suppose I'm running this test. You see, it's look dirtier, right? Like home page launch, then enter store it two times, and then sign it. It look dirtier. If you put a check mark and if you run, it looks beautiful. Correct. So what if you wish, you can put If you do not wish, no need to put a check mark, right? But initially, if you put it and if you run it, it will look beautiful and it will be easy for you guys to understand, right? So now I'm putting a check mark and then I will run and you'll see the change. Okay, so this was what the first run we did. Now I put the check mark over there. Now I'll clean this and I'll run this. So it will look, see, it's looking little bit cleaner, right? Transaction, 15 transactions. And then the request detail you want to see that, then you can expand and you can see the request details, right? Okay, and you have to expand and see. Okay, so that is not a mandatory thing, but just for a clean view over here, you can put a check mark here. So that is the first reason. Second stuff, or second reason why we have to put a check mark over there, or why we do not have to put a check mark there. One important point is there related to this, so that we will be discussing later on. First is just to make the run a little bit beautiful, so that you can do or you cannot do. But initially, if you are practicing, if you do, this view will look beautiful to you. Okay, so it will be better for you to understand. After that, 4.3, fix transaction and respective request considering below steps. Okay. It's important for better HTML reporting. So we have to fix the transaction and their respective request by going through these 4 steps. Okay. And this is an important thing to have a better HTML reporting, right? The reporting, right, that I have shown day before yesterday, I think, or in the yesterday session, a reporting is there, correct? A final report we will get. So to have it in better way, this is needed. Okay, so what is the first thing in that? If any misplaced or misarranged requests are found, arrange or put them in their respective transaction controller. What is the meaning of this? Okay, the meaning of this is, sometime what happen, you will see that, let us say, enter store has 3 transactions. Means one transaction can have enter store has 3 requests, right? We know that one transaction can have one request or it can have multiple requests as well. So assume that enter store has 3 requests, right? Sometime what can happen, that 2 requests of enter store can go to the next transaction. Okay, it can happen. And so you will see them, they will be present in the other transaction. So these 2 requests which belongs to enter store transaction, they are present in another transaction, right? So we have to move them and put them in respective transaction. You can move, like you can select, do Control X for cut, and here Control V for paste, right? Control X, yesterday's few shortcut I told, right? Control C for copy, Control plus X for cut, and Control plus V, right, for paste, right? These 3 shortcut are very handy when you work in JMeter, right? So from this transaction click sign in, I moved them to the respective transaction to which they belong. So sometime that can happen. Okay, generally it will not happen, but chance is there. So that you have to fix. Here it didn't happen. It's good, but it can happen. Uh, so that you have to do, right? If you see any misplaced, misarranged requests are there, right, arrange or put them in their respective transaction control, correct? Next is, if you have done any mistake or need any change in the name of transaction, or you want to shorten the name of any request, go ahead and fix the name of those requests and their respective go ahead and fix the name of those transaction and their respective request. Okay, again I'll read. If you have done any mistake or need any change in the name of transaction, or you want to shorten the name of any request, go ahead and fix the name of those transaction and their respective request. So what is the meaning of this? Suppose in naming of the transaction, if you have done any mistake, right? Mistake means some spelling mistake, or you want to change the name, correct? For an example, just for, let us say, login, right? Login, some spelling mistake I have done, I want to change, or some other name I want to give. So you can give, where you can give, here, right? You name any element, you see name will be there. You see here name will be there, or here the name will be there. Okay, you can change the name, right? So I just said, let us say login, right? I want to change the name. So let us say I want to give login page, like that, something other name I want to give, or a spelling correction I want to do. You can do, right? But uh, this work is more. That's why while recording only you should think what the best name you should give, and spelling mistakes you should not do, because again, why to do it again, right? Waste of time. While recording only, if you take care of this thing, no need to worry, right? See, many people do not focus on this thing, but why I'm stressing is because it will, whenever you run the test and you have the result, right? And when you present that report to your seniors or to the client, right, to whom you are working for, they will be impressed. Okay, the work is with perfection, or the work is good, right? So that's why we should go with this thing, right? So if you want to change the name, you can change the name over here, or any spelling mistake you want to do, you can do. But as a suggestion, while recording only, take care of that. Otherwise, again, it will be waste of time, right? Fixing. And one more thing, when you are fixing the name of the transaction, right? Let us say this is the name of transaction, and you are fixing it. Fixing means you are changing it, or you are rectifying that. You have to rectify in its request also. Okay. So login has two requests. You see this, two requests. So in this also, as a prefix, the transaction name will be there. Okay. So in that also you have to rectify, right? That's why this work is lengthy, and hence while recording only we should take care of that. But let us say sometime mistake can happen, right? So you can rectify, but when you are rectifying, remember that you have to rectify in the transaction controller, plus you have to rectify in that request over here as well, because in the prefix of the request that name will be there, or like this, like this. Okay, like this you have to rectify in the transaction and in its respective request, right? Okay, so I'll move it back. So this is how you should do. I'm reverting it back. Okay. Okay, save. Fine. So we should do that. Or let us say any request you want to sort in the name of any request, you can do. So here one request is there, which is name is very big. This request name, you see, it's very big. I want to sort it, make it shorter. So I'll just keep from here to here. The in last of every request, a number is there, right? You remember I told the JMeter adds the number you should not delete. Okay, so let us say this request name is very big, you see. So I want to delete from here to here. In last, this number is there, number I'll keep. Apart from that, this you can delete if you wish to make it shorter, like that. Fine. And save, keep saving. Okay, so this all we have to. Then okay, one more thing. These all are if condition. If means it's not mandatory. Only if face that some requirement is there like this, you go ahead and do, right? It's not mandatory. Only if you see that any mess up is misarrangement has happened, you do. Or if you see you need any change in the names, or you want to shorten the names, you should do. Okay, and this third one is also if. Okay, if thing. Means not mandatory. Only if you think that is required, you can do. So next is if JMeter has messed up with the sequence number, arrange the request for each transaction sequentially by taking reference from F12 DevTool. This step should only be done for those transactions which have more than one request. So what is the meaning of this, correct? So meaning of this is, sometime, as I said, a request can have a transaction can have two or more requests, right? We know that, right? Sometime a transaction can have one request, or it can have multiple requests. So what happens when there is a transaction which have multiple requests? What for an example, I've created a multiple request here, 23, 24, 25, 26, just for an example, right? 27. Okay, so a transaction have multiple requests. So you'll observe that sometime the sequencing will be up and down, right? Like that. Okay, that is what messing up with the request sequence. Fine. You'll see that 26 is up, 23 is down, 24 is up, 27 is down, 25 is below that. So it's not in sequence, right? So you have to fix the sequence as well. So this problem can also come. Okay, so you have to fix the sequence. Now, how you will know that which request will be in what sequence? So for that, you have to use the F12 developer tool, right? In, let us say, uh, uh, you can simulate that same thing in F12 dev tool, right? The same scenario. So for an example, I'll do log restore, sign in, clear this. I'll do login. Okay. So see here two requests. These all are embedded resources. We do not worry, but these are two main requests. Okay, they are type of document only. So which one runs first? You will get the idea, right? Account.action or catalog.action run first, and then first this runs and then this runs, right? So this is the sequence. So same way, using that you can refer that if any messing up is happened, which request should be up, which should be down. You can simulate that same over here, and you can move the things up and down. I mean, you have to arrange, right? So as an example, right? Just a second. I'll just use one two. Let us say 23, 24 is there, right? And there is messing up. You see that 24 is up and 23 is down. So here it's a clear case of messing up, right? Number is messed up. Sequence number is messed up. Now you want to verify that. So you reproduce the same scenario in browser. Now you see here account.action runs first, catalog.action runs last. So you can move this account.action up and catalog.action down, right? So like that you have to fix. Okay. And one more thing, there will be a problem in the numbering. So do not worry. Okay. What that problem is. Suppose here 23 is there or 24 is there, then here 26 is there, and there 27 and then 36. So you see gap is there, right? Now do not get confused that where 28 or 29, 30, 31, 32, where they went. Do not worry about that. Okay. That gap in the number can happen, right? So do not worry on that. Okay. The why the numbers are missing, because in middle you see irrelevant requests were there. So for that also numbers were assigned, right? So which we have deleted. So because of that, that gaps happens. So for gap you should not worry. Okay, for the numbering. Okay, so this mess up, if you see it's there, you have to fix. And this only you have to worry about those transactions which are more than one request. Okay, for those only you have to worry. For that transaction which has only one request, you do not have to worry for that. Okay. So these three are if thing. Now in last we have important one, which says that add number sequentially to all the requests for only those transactions which have more than one request, right? So in those transactions which have more than one request, you have to add number sequentially to all its requests, right? It's an important step. We have to do that. These are optional step, okay, which we discuss, but this is an important step. So what we have to do? So in all those transactions where you see there is more than two requests, right? Let us say home page launch only one request, and restore only one request, sign in only one request, login two request. Okay, same way select a pet one, subpet two, subpet type, subpet one, subpet type one, add to cart one, proceed to checkout one, the details one, submit one, all have one. Okay, yeah, only in sign out two request and in login two request. So in all those transactions where you see in all those transactions where we see there is two or more request, okay, more than one, it's minimum two or more request is there, you have to add number. What number you have to add? You have to add 1 2, like that. So suppose login is there, so you see where this name of transaction is ending, Immediately after that, you give 1. So your login is ending, you give 1 over here. Same way, this is the another request, give 2 over here. 2. Okay. If it has one more request, 3, suppose login has 3 requests. One more request. So here you have to give 3. Right, 3. Means immediately after where the transaction name is ending in the request, especially in the request, login transaction, it's request, right? So you have to give 1, 2, 3, like that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3 properly, right? If it has one more, then 4. Number will be 4, right? Let me delete this one. And same thing you have to do for all those transactions which are more than one request. Here again, so sign out 1, and this is sign out 2. Okay, sign out 1 and sign out 2. Save, sign out 1 and sign out. If it has one more, sign out 3, like that. So this is one important thing you have to do. And only for those transactions you have to do which are more than one request, right? Why this we should do? To have a better HTML reporting, good better HTML reporting. Okay, so that is the initial of enhancement. Now we'll move to other. So next is 4.4. We have to add a HTTP request default at test plan level, and we have to put a check mark in retrieve all embedded resources and parallel download, and give a value 6 to 8, right? But okay, remember, but it's an optional setting. Generally, embedded resources are not retrieved while doing the performance testing. Okay, so I'll explain this. First, let us add this. So we have to add an element called HTTP request default at test plan level. This element is a config element. It's a config element, right? So right click on test plan, go to add, and go to threads. Go to config element, and you see here HTTP request default. Click on that. So that element is added over here, right? You just drag it and drop it above, right? Keep it above. Now in this element, in advanced tab, click on that. You see this, put a check mark over here. So why to put a check mark? To retrieve the embedded resources. So whenever you will be running, each request will be having embedded resources, right? So they will be retrieving their embedded resources, right? So we have to put a check mark. So that is what global setting, right? If you apply the setting over here, it will be applicable to all these requests that we have here in this, correct? All requests will be downloading their embedded resources. Plus we have to put a check mark in this as well, parallel download. Okay, and in this generally a number will be there, 6. So you can give a number between 6 to 8, whatever you like. Okay, 6 to 8. Now this we know that every request embedded resources is retrieved in the browser automatically. That's why using this setting will be retrieving that. But what is this, right? So what happens is, actually there is setting in JMeter, not JMeter, in browser there is settings in browser that the browser downloads 6 to 8 resources parallelly. Meaning of that means they will send the request for those resources at a time. Okay, right? We the browsers send the request for sends the request to retrieve, right, the embedded resources 6 to 8 at a time, right? Generally all browser have different value. Like Google Chrome will send 6, Mozilla Firefox will 7, Internet Explorer has 8, I think. Okay, but this value remains in 6 to 8. By default 6 is there, so that's why you see here 6, correct? 6. Meaning of that let us say there is one request and it has more than 6 embedded resources. You see it has more than 6 embedded resources. So what will happen? 6 to 8 embedded resources will be downloaded parallelly. Parallelly means the request for them will be sent at same time. Okay, same time, so that they can be downloaded parallelly. Okay, you can check here in waterfall model here. You can see here their start time. If you see, luckily it's simulated here. How many are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 it is there. Okay, this varies, right? So that's why I said 6 to 8 will be there, maximum 6 to 8, or sometime maximum 6 to 10 also, any value you can keep. So you see start time here, when the request for them was hit to download, right? So that is what a browser thing is, right? So to simulate that same, like the same browser activity, uh, the setting is there. Okay, and retrieve all embedded resources. Obviously we know that whenever the request goes, embedded resources are downloaded automatically. So to simulate the same thing, whenever we'll be running, all these requests will be downloading their embedded resources. So the setting is there, correct? Now one discussion here, okay, one point here. This retrieving of embedded resources is an optional thing. Okay, generally embedded resources are not retrieved while doing the performance testing. Remember, while you are doing server side performance testing, 90% of the performance testing we do server side only, we do not retrieve. So no need of this thing, or no need to enable this setting, right? But for now, as a knowledge purpose, I'm keeping this, and I'm keeping this element as well. Okay, right? Later in execution part I'll remove this. Okay, so for now I'm keeping this. You can add, it's not like that, but when the real testing will be doing, and when it's server side testing, generally the means the we have to just focus on the servers. So at that time server behavior, right? So we do not retrieve the embedded resource. Okay, so this is not used. Fine. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt, Vallabh.
Mhm.
The embedded resources response request response times are not considered into the main
Ah,
response time.
in server side performance testing, it's not taken. When
Okay,
in client side, when you are doing that time, you take. That's why we do not retrieve them.
okay. Client side means so page rendering, right? These are the
Page
page
rendering.
rendering. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now, so I'll be talking on that again, right? How the response time impacts another thing. When we'll be doing execution, we'll be talking. For now, we are enhancing the script, right? Enhancement itself will take 10 days, I think. More than 10 to 12 days. 10 days, yeah. Because many topics are there. Okay, before we start execution topic. Okay. So next is add HTTP cookie manager. It's a one important to add, and cache manager. This is optional, generally not used inside each thread group. Okay, and put a check mark in clear cookies on each iteration and clear cache each iteration. Right. So what we have to do is these two element. These are also config element. Okay, config element. These you have to add inside thread group. Okay, inside thread group. Remember, right? So you right click on thread group, go to add, go to config element, and add the cookie manager. Then again right click, go to add and go to config element and add cache manager. So you have to right click on thread group, and then you have to add this, right? You can move these two, select, and you can move it up, right? Like here, up inside that simple controller, and inside below that simple controller, inside all transactions are kept. So move this up. Many people are you keeping this cookie manager at test plan level. Okay, in market you'll see that they are doing it wrong. Why they are doing it wrong, I'll show you. I'll click on this link. Okay, so JMeter people only, this is a JMeter page. You see adding cookie support. So to add cookie support, simply add cookie manager to each thread group, right? What they say, to each thread group you have to add. Okay, means inside the thread group you have to add, correct? Inside this is thread group, inside this we have to add. Many people are using at test plan, which is wrong. Actually, as per the JMeter website, it's wrong. We have to put it over here. Okay. Okay. Now, in this cookie manager, you will see one setting here. Put a check mark in this, clear cookie on each iteration. And in this cache manager, put there is one setting here. Put a check mark in this. Fine. Now, one thing here. Cookie manager will handle the cookie. What is cookie? We have talked right in browser. Cookies are there, which remembers the session. So I'll tell you again in depth about cookie, how it is handled and everything, but that is the important element to add. Okay, remember it's an important element to add, right? Very important element to add. A cache manager is an optional. Generally for now I have added, but it's an optional. We do not add it. We only add it, remember, when you are running a test by retrieving the embedded resources. Okay, when you are doing client side performance testing, or yeah, and you are retrieving the embedded resources, at that time cache manager should be used. Okay, so a relation is there. Remember, when you are running a test by retrieving the embedded resources, at that time cache manager should be used. Otherwise it should not be used. It's not required. Okay, why cache manager? Cache manager will do the caching. What is caching? In browser, some pages will be cached, right, when we repeatedly visit. So that's why same thing, this cache manager, when you repeatedly visit, some embedded resources will be there, which will be just one time they will be downloaded from the server side, right? So we use the cache manager. But what I think from my side, right, that even if you are running a test by retrieving embedded resources, uh, cache manager you should not use at all. Okay, because uh, we are putting a stress on the server, right? So if you add cache manager, uh, uh, for some request where some embedded resources needs to be downloaded from server, they will be called from the caching, right? Caching only. So it is not putting a stress on the server, right? So what I believe, it should not be used only at all. But even if you are using it, it should be used when you are retrieving the embedded resources. That's why, and retrieving embedded resources is just an, again, as I said, it's optional thing. When server side testing we are doing, we do not retrieve. So hence cache manager also we should not use. For now I'm keeping both. Okay, I'm keeping both. Now why a check mark over here, right? Or why a check mark over here, that we'll see later on. So that is what. And then save, keep saving your work. Okay, now the from here the main thing starts. Finding the dynamic value and doing the correlation and parameterization, use of C and P. Okay, so what is dynamic value? So come to this. In your script, whenever you record, you will see that in the request, there will be some value which you cannot recognize, means which you cannot understand. So let us say sign in here, right? You see this value which you cannot understand, or log in here. You see this value in the parameter, right? User inputs. So this is J2W user input that went from our side. But you see these two value which are alphanumeric in nature. They are very big. Few are small. The above one is very big. Then below one is small. It's alphanumeric in nature. So this kind of value will be recorded. These are known as dynamic values. Okay, dynamic values. Fine. So we have to find the dynamic values, and we have to handle them. We have to find the dynamic values and we have to handle them. The handling is known as correlation and parameterization. So we will talk on dynamic values more, right, in next session. Fine. So we'll start from there. So thank you for today.